Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Hello, lovely people. Hope you're well and welcome back to another live match preview. And I'm delighted to be joined by the one and only Rich from Eagle Eyed Football, who's going to give us the Crystal Palace perspective this show. As always, guys, when we get behind this mic, all that we ask is that you subscribe, comment, and like. Also, the link to Rich's channel is in the description and also in the title. All you got to do is click on the link or the name, and it will take you straight to his channel. You can subscribe and come straight back without missing the show. Please make sure you go over and support what the boys are doing. Rich, Nate, and Jordan are doing some great stuff. I've always said I've got a little soft spot for Palace. I grew up not too far from there. So, guys, let's get behind these guys and get them the support that they need and deserve. Rich, bro, first and foremost, thanks for doing this so early. How are you doing, bro?
No, first, listen, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for even sending a video for our show yesterday. Thank you for inviting us on. Listen, I know Nate, I saw the comments last season when Nate was on. Nate was hilarious. So hopefully, obviously, I can obviously match that energy, you know what I mean? Considering the game's tough on Monday. But seriously, it's a massive one. Thank you so much.
No, bless you, bro. Also, thanks for everyone who's in the comments. I see a couple of you saying in America that it's a horrible time for streaming, and I know it is. It's just one of those things. We had to get this one in early so that we had a preview to give you guys. But bro, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. It's always been a fixture that's had goals, excitement. But in the recent years, Liverpool have been able to get the better of you guys. Even going back to last season, we played you guys at Anfield, and we ended up winning the game 3-0. And I think that flattered us, to be honest. Like, you played really well in that game, and we got 2 goals from set pieces, and Naby Keita scored a stunner towards the end. Even when you go back the season before, where we had to beat you on the last day of the season to secure top 4, even in that game, Andros Townsend threw 1-on-1, and he misses a clear-cut goal. And then we go on to win the game with 2 Sadio Mane goals. Even though we've been beating you, you've always given us scares. Given that, with the way Patrick Vieira is starting to coach the team, implement his philosophy, how confident are you going into this game, bro?
Confident? Let's start with what you said earlier on. Listen, last season was, I think, frustrating on our part because yes, we're not really expected to get anything from you on the day-to-day, but yes, we are. But in all fairness, even the game at Anfield, we had chances. Yeah. We had chances. We should have had a penalty as well to start with. Like I said, and I'm not going to say, oh, that's why that's not that. It's like
no comment.
These things just don't go our way. You know what I mean? But we should have taken our chances. And then the goals, apart from Naby's was an absolute blinder, to be fair. It was like set pieces. It was really frustrating goals we've been conceding all year. Roland Sellers Park. The man of the match was your goalkeeper. Yeah. You know? That's how bad it was. He had a blinding game. It was fair play to him, but once again, we took our chances. So, obviously, going into this one, as I said to you, and I've said to a few others, I'd rather have you beaten Fulham 4-0. Because now, effectively, this becomes a must-win game for you guys. Yeah. And yeah, I'm not confident. Not confident at all. I just hope we can score.
So it's weird you say that, because from the Liverpool's perspective, I don't think we're that confident as a fan base going into this game. And I hear what you're saying about the Fulham. It's almost like Palace fans are probably expecting a backlash from Liverpool. The problem is, though, in that Fulham game, it wasn't just a case of us not showing up. It was a case of we showed poor attitude for most parts of the game, but also we had deficiencies in our midfield, which is probably the most important area on the pitch for Liverpool Football Club. So when you look at the fact that you guys have signed Decore, I'm guessing Elise is back for this game potentially. Zaha.
Yeah, so he's been training all week.
Yeah,
he may make the bench, which is a massive boost for us, to be honest.
Eze looked really lively in the last game, so I think it's that gives Liverpool fans that little bit of scare that think if Fulham were able to get in and amongst us, and I personally believe Eze and Zaha and Elise, if he plays, are better attacking threats than what Fulham have, then it makes us a little nervy, I'd say. But in terms of sort of the players that you've signed this summer, this is the first summer I've not heard anyone linked with Zaha pretty much until recently.
Yeah.
But how have you found that your summer's gone? Are you happy with your summer? Do you need more? Do you want more?
I guess we need more, but I guess Vieira's also gonna have to kind of make the best out of what he's got, because we're not blessed financially like that at all. You know, we punch within our means. Honestly, like picking up talent from the Championship for like Eze was 10 million.
Yeah,
Elise was 8. Malcolm Ibue, who's come in, Luke Plunge, who's come in, they were both free transfers. You know, so like we're kind of having to box clever in the market.
Yeah,
I think we're light a midfielder. Obviously losing Conor Gallagher, who may end up coming back. Not too sure yet.
okay.
Like, the rumour mill's just going mad because obviously Tuchel decided to throw him on in the 96th minute. You know what I mean? So, and it's a World Cup year.
Yeah.
He has to play football. So, with them having Spurs, would he get any minutes?
Probably not.
You know, he's got a decision to make. But check the Corey, brilliant. He's been brilliant for us. He kind of allows us to just play with one DM and stuff.
Yeah.
I think Monday, I think we'll play with 2 though. I think it'll be almost tactical suicide if we try to play with one sitting against your midfield. Who else is coming? Chris Richards, he needs a bit of time to bed in. He's a centre back, but he can also play left and right back as well. And I've mentioned Malcolm, Sam Johnston. That's the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think that's a really good signing. That's gone under the radar.
It is a great signing. Free transfer again.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. We'll try to box clever with our signings. He was on the bench against Arsenal because he had a thigh injury, minor thigh injury. So the fact he was on the bench is a good sign. I reckon it might just be a bit too soon for him to start. I would assume his first start will be in the Carabao Cup game against Oxford United, and then we go from there.
That's fair. So, I mean, you speak about Conor Gallagher. If he was to come back, would that not necessarily stunt the growth of Eze, but it'd mean Eze can't play in that 10 position, which I think Eze is best at. So where would the future of Eze lie there? Would it be a rotation between him and Gallagher? Would Zaha sort of be more rotational and Eze play on the left sometimes? How do you sort of suspect that to work?
Yeah, you know, PV likes players who play multiple positions anyway. That's kind of how we've been doing our business. But you know, there's a massive myth that they can't play together. It happened in the FA Cup quarter-final against Everton, where Eze actually played in the 8. And he was brilliant. It was brilliant. Gallagher could do the 8 as well, you know. So because we've got Chet the Corey, that's why I feel like we can gamble a little bit more. Not be naive against obviously the bigger teams like yourselves, the Cities and such. Like you don't want to be going home because it'll be mad, you know. But on that front though, like the teams that we should be beating, obviously should have in quotation marks because this is the Premier League. We can have Decore and have 2 8s just roaming around, or even just see him as 2 10s. So listen, I'll have him back at a heartbeat. You know, like you can't ever say you don't want quality in the squad.
Yeah,
you know, it gives competition for places. It gets rid of complacency. So look at the as much as you may think your squad's quite light, you still have quality.
Yeah,
you understand? Like last year, you had Salah, Jota, Mane, Firmino. Like Firmino was holding bench, but he's quality. So at the end of the day, you can only see it as a good thing, you know. So
I hear that. I hear that. I mean, going into the game, the thing that Liverpool fans are most worried about in terms of the game and just going forward is our midfield. And I kind of want to get your perspective as a rival because, again, we can be very much in a cocoon sometimes in our own bubble and just think, yeah, this is what we need and everyone must know this. But from the outside looking in, do you think we are light in midfield, or do you think we as Liverpool fans are maybe being a bit overreactive?
It's so weird with Liverpool because if you were to take them individually and isolate them, like you can see deficiencies in all your midfielders.
Yeah.
Such. Like Thiago's very good going forward, not so much going back. Fabinho's a fantastic player, but maybe he's sometimes slow in the turn. Henderson ain't the great technically, but what he offers, like no one can match that. Him and Milner as well, especially. Like what he offers is incredible. But what Klopp's done, he's just built a unit that it doesn't matter who they're coming up against. That midfield three, it works. You know? And to the point where even like Henderson can go and cover the fullbacks and leave Fabinho and Thiago in there, and it still works. So I'm glad Thiago's injured, by the way. I'm glad Mane is gone because he's literally always scoring against us.
But there's something like 9 in a row he scored against.
Oh my god,
ridiculous!
Go and take your talents elsewhere. Leave us alone. So I guess that's the one area now that Thiago's playing. I know Naby can come in, but we just have to. We have to be so good at midfield, and we weren't like that at Arsenal for the first half, especially. We were terrible in midfield.
Yeah,
you know, if we're gonna get any joy, we have to. And I wouldn't necessarily use the phrase "win the midfield battle" because it's not something you may not do, but we just have to be combative. You know, we have to be combative, and then if we do get the ball, then we're gonna have to exploit your fullbacks quick.
Yeah,
because obviously they'll naturally be high up the field.
Yeah,
you know. We can't allow Henderson the chance to be able to settle and come across either side. We literally have to be like, all right, cool, bang.
Yeah.
And work from there. So, yeah.
Completely agree. Guys, as always, if you haven't already, please do smash the like button. Do also make sure you check out Eagle Eye Football as well. Link is in the description and also in the title. So make sure you go and subscribe to their channel too. So, Rich, who do you think Patrick Vieira will start for Palace as a starting 11 against Liverpool?
Something tells me he'll play the same 11, but I'm hoping he doesn't.
Okay. The same as Arsenal, right?
Yeah. I think, actually, to be fair, I think Mateta will come in for Edouard. I think Mateta, Edouard's been working a lot harder this year than he was last year. Last year, I think he got, I came from Stoke, I played Champions League football.
Yeah.
Said, whole bench, my guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think stylistically, Mateta will be more awkward for your centre backs than Edouard will. Edouard's a bit more, I need the ball to feet, I've got good footwork and stuff. So I think that's easier to defend.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping Mateta comes in because he's awkward. Like his touch is a bit baggy, but it works out for it. It's weird. He doesn't look pleasing to the eye, but he will cause problems. If that makes sense. So I'm hoping it does go Mateta. I'm expecting Ayew to start. More so for his work rate and obviously to track Robertson.
Yeah.
For that reason. The midfield three. See, Schlupp offers a lot running wise, but it doesn't offer much on the ball. Whereas Hughes is better on the ball, but he doesn't have the legs. So that's why we need another midfielder.
Yeah. You need that hybrid of both.
We need a hybrid of both, you know.
Yeah.
I think because we could potentially be overrun, I would personally have Hughes because I think we'll play with 2 DMs. But we do need the legs, so I think he'll play Schlupp. And then the back five will stay the same.
I'm not gonna lie, I was really impressed with is it Andreasen or Anderson?
Anderson. Oh my gosh, he was brilliant.
Passing's mad.
And this is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? We need to all he was doing was picking out Zaha. If it wasn't for the fact that
mad.
Listen, I was so hoping Saliba went back on loan because if it wasn't for him, he was scoring goals.
You would have been.
Was getting attacked time and time again, and Saliba was just sweeping up every time.
Right.
And this is why another part. I believe Matip's injured, right?
Yeah. So be Gomez coming in.
And Gomez is good. Don't get me wrong, Gomez is good. But he also has his injury problems. So hopefully he won't cover as well as like a Saliba did or Matip will.
Yeah.
You know, and Konate as well, for example, he's injured as well. So this also we've got to get the ball to Anderson quick and just let him just keep spraying that diagonal towards Trent's direction.
Yeah.
That's probably one of our only chances, to be fair.
Yeah, I'll be really interested to see how we approach it with that. But I think when you started taking that approach in that game, you literally just started giving Arsenal problem on top of problem. So I'll be interested to see how Liverpool deal with that, whether it's someone from the midfield who presses him or someone from the front line. But I'll give you what I think Klopp will do in terms of starting 11. Not necessarily what I would do, but what I think Klopp will do. I think Alisson obviously will be a shoo-in for goal. I think Trent will start right back. Gomez and Virgil. And then Robbo left back. I think in midfield it's going to be Fabinho at the base, Henderson and Naby Keita. And then I think it's going to be Salah, Diaz. And I know this is going to be controversial. I think Firmino starts ahead of Nunes again.
Really?
Not what I would do. Yeah, I think he does. But I think if he does, I think what Firmino's job will be is to shut down Anderson. And then in the second half, bring on Nunes and try and get some goals if we're lacking in that department. But I personally wouldn't start Firmino. I think this is a game Nunes should start. First game at Anfield as well. I would start Nunes. But I feel like Klopp's going to start Firmino, and I think that will be his job. Even though I think Nunes could do that job in terms of sitting on Anderson and sort of marking him, I believe he's going to go with the tried and tested, which I'm not a fan of, but it seems to be what Klopp would do. Even in midfield, I would personally go Fabinho, Keita, and Elliott, but I know he would never do that. So it's going to be interesting to see how we do, especially with Hendo in the 8, because I think Hendo playing as a 6 is absolutely brilliant. Hendo playing as an 8, not so much in my opinion. Not so much. Before we do score predictions,
You're feeling with a little bit of optimism the way you're talking.
No,
a little bit.
No, I'm not. I know. Before we get into score predictions, I wanted to play a little game. Between Liverpool and Palace, there have been a lot of players who have played for both teams. So I want to ask for you personally, the 3 best players you believe who have played for both Liverpool and Crystal Palace.
See, that gets a bit techie because where they've been, I mean, like Sacco, for example, he was all right for you guys.
Yeah.
He took a while to settle. He had one brilliant season for us. Then you got Benteke, who didn't have the best of time with you guys and didn't have the best of time with us.
Yeah.
So, who else am I missing?
So I can read you a list. You got Nathaniel Klein, Neil Ruddock, Victor Moses, Collymore, Benteke, Ray Houghton, Martin Kelly, Steve Staunton, Mamadou Sakho, Mark Kennedy. I don't think that's the list. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head.
In that case, I'll put Klein up there.
Yeah. He's had a resurgence. I'm not going to lie. I'm really happy to see it.
Absolutely. Because unfortunately for him, he had a tough time with injuries as well.
Yeah.
I know when he was with you guys.
Love Klein, man.
So I'll definitely say Kleiny. You said Ruddock, didn't you?
Ruddock was in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Ruddock was good for us, to be fair. he was good for Razor. Yeah. So I'll go Ruddock. And then see, Collymore was good for you, but I wouldn't say as good for us.
Okay.
So reel off the list again, and I'll just shout as soon as you mention it.
So we got Klein, you've already said, Ruddock, you've already said, Victor Moses, Collymore, Benteke, Ray Houghton, Martin Kelly, Steve Staunton, Sakho, and Mark Kennedy.
See, with Ray Houghton, it'll just be based on like what my dad said and stuff.
Yeah.
So I know he was a very, very good player, but I couldn't tell you that I saw him.
Yeah.
Myself, in a sense.
Yeah.
But looking back at obviously tape and stuff, like yeah, he was a good player. So I'm gonna just base it on like someone that I'd say that I saw play. I'll stick Victor Moses in there.
Yeah, Victor Moses. Do you know? I'm really surprised Victor Moses never ever went back to Palace after he left. I think there was always a space for him at one point where he could have just gone, yeah, I'm going to go back to Palace now. Very, very talented.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a shame because you know what? Like, because we're not the biggest financially as well and stuff. I mean, we're getting better. We're like, we're trying to obviously expand the main stand of our ground to make it have another 10,000 stuff. Just to obviously get planning permission with Sainsbury's and all that. It's been a nightmare for the last 4 years.
Yeah, and the thing is, I know what you're talking about. A lot of people won't know what you're talking about because they wouldn't have been Sellers Park. But yeah, you literally sit on top of Sainsbury's, which
literally
they if I'm not mistaken, do they own the car park there as well, which makes it a bit difficult for you guys? Yeah. So
that's what we're trying to get like the rights and stuff. But you know what? I think Sainsbury's have been okay with it. It's the residents.
Okay.
Because we would have to obviously be able to match the price of their property as well as get them somewhere better
where they want to be,
or somewhere nicer. Because obviously it's people's homes, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had the same problem when we were extending at Anfield as well.
You know, so obviously I could see their reason. Like, why would I want to move? Like, I totally see that. You know, so obviously, like I said, with finances and stuff, we're not blessed. So for the we tend to lose our talent. We tend to lose our talent quite easily. And then some of them do well, some of them don't. Victor Moses ended up going off and winning, I believe, a Champions League and a league title at Chelsea. So you know, fair, and then he won Serie A as well. So fair play to him. You know, so
yes, he did, didn't he? Yeah,
I'm not mad at him for not coming back because he's gone and won things.
Yeah.
But then you look at like in the past, you've had like John Bostock leave, and then his career just went to pot. And I feel like that's what I'm hoping for the likes of like Eze and Elise, that they don't leave us too soon. I'm not saying that she stay with us forever, like do what Saha did, because they need to go on and thrive. Unless we get like a mad owner that comes in and elevates us. You know, these players are gonna do what they can for us, and we'll send them with their blessing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I look at Elise and I'm like, I'd have him at Liverpool. You know, I really.
I think this will be his last. I think this will be his last year with us.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, he's got a 35 mil release clause, right? Or is that fake news?
Fake news. Basically, like he's about to sign a new contract, which will have a release clause in it.
Oh, okay. Because I'll be honest, I think he's absolute class. This is where I sort of look at some of the bigger boys in the Premier League and I say, maybe you need to widen your scouting network a little bit because what is it, 8 million you guys got him for?
Yeah, the championship.
Come on, I mean,
talent. Like we got him on a free transfer. Like he's literally Elise, but more direct.
Yeah, and that's my point because we need someone who can compete with and deputize for Salah a lot of the time. For me, having someone like Elise would have been perfect for 8 million. Having Elise and Salah, we're not complaining as Liverpool fans, but at the same time, I understand he needs to go and play regular football so he can improve and build up his experience as well. So I'm not mad at it, but I think maybe signing him and then loaning him to Crystal Palace for a couple of seasons could have been something very good. But you know, hey, we're here now, innit?
That's a shout. I'm seeing the chat talking about Elise is definitely out. Wait 1 second.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna complain.
He's been training all week, so
I reckon he'll play. I'll be honest. If he was available for Arsenal, I think you'd have got something out of that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, still the same. There's a chance he can make the squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So still, as of yesterday, there's a chance. I don't expect him to start. If he's on the bench, that's a good sign for us. That's a good sign.
Cool. One more set of questions before we do score predictions, bro.
No problems.
Your favorite Anfield win over Liverpool and your worst loss.
So with the worst loss, is that at Anfield or just in general?
Nah, Anfield. I know which one it would be in general.
Favorite win? I mean, we don't have many, but obviously when Benteke got his brace, that was a good win for us. Very good win. I think.
And then celebrated with Saka.
We had a that was a brilliant performance.
Mm.
In general, and like punching was outstanding that game. To be fair to him. Obviously the home game. If we're talking about home, it would be 7-0. That was. But you know what? As in worst defeats, and it may sound mad. I'm actually going to go for the 4-3 because we competed.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because every other time we've lost like the 3-0s, the 4-0s, whatever it may be, it's kind of like kind of expected. The 4-3 game, we played very well.
You did.
You know what I mean? We played extremely well, and it was just disappointing that we just couldn't get anything from that. So that would be my worst defeat.
Yeah, I think for me, my worst loss to Crystal Palace at Anfield, it was actually a 1-0. It was in Klopp's first, when you guys had Pardew. I think it was the 15-16 season. You beat us 2-1. Scott Dan got the winner. I was actually at that game, and it was so annoying. We didn't play great on the day, but the way we
have you been to any other Liverpool Palace games since?
Not since then, no.
Can you go on Monday then?
No, I can't make it one on Monday.
I'm just saying this. I'm trying to.
My luck is bad. When I've gone to watch Liverpool, even back in 2004-05, I was at the game and Andy Johnson got the winner, and I was surrounded by Palace fans. They all knew I was a Liverpool fan, but when as soon as they scored, everyone was jumping up around me and pointing at me, and I was like, "Oh, this is pain."
We need to start the GoFundMe then real quick. Get Callum to Anfield on Monday.
I ain't doing it, man. I ain't gonna do that to my team. I think my favorite win against you guys, though, it was actually in lockdown. Was the 4-0, because that was the last game we played before we secured the Prem, and I thought that day we were outstanding, especially just coming back off the lockdown as well. The boys were sharp. The goals were like, I remember Fabinho's goal, just sensational. So hopefully it's another one of those games. So, bro, before we let you go, score predictions: Liverpool versus Crystal Palace, Monday Night Football. What is your score prediction, bro?
3-1. 3-1 Liverpool. 3-1.
Yeah,
I think we will score. It's not 3-1.
Yeah, I've got the same prediction. I think it's going to be 3-1 as well. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet because I do think your attacking prowess is very good. But I do expect us to have the lion's share of possession. I expect us to get a couple of goals. I'm going 3-1. So, people, now all that's left is for you to give us your score prediction. As always, guys, make sure you smash the like button. Go over and support Rich, Nate, and Jordan on Eagle Eyed Football. Again, bro, thank you so much for doing this so early in the morning as well. Really appreciate it. And you know we'll do this again. We'll chop it up again, bro.
100%.
So no, thank you so much. Guys, we will be back on Monday. We've got a Monday night live show, and then we'll be going live for a watch along as well. So make sure you join us. Switch on the notification bell if you haven't already. Make sure you follow us on social media. Until we see you on Monday, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, stay blessed. We're Kop-Ish, and we're out, people. Take care.